This is the story from the Tzemach Tzedek. The yeah, the Tzemach Tzedek, the third Rebbe of Chabad. There was a rich businessman, and he made his money. He would load up a wagon, and he would go to the rich people's houses, the barons and the dukes and whatever these people, and he would sell them his wares, cloth and other materials or whatever he had for their households. And they had, massive households that they would use. They were like kings, these people. And so we would go to their various homes, and he would sell them these things. And sometimes his wife, she said she felt very lonely, when he was gone. He would take her with him. And they would go around to these different barons and the different places, and she would, generally she would sit in the wagon, and once in a while she would even come in with him and look around, and she would enjoy, the world a little bit. And so there was one period when either he was ill or he had to go outside of the town, whatever. And she said that she could do it. She could do it alone. She could take over. He didn't have to, not travel. He could travel. She knows, the Baron's homes. She knows this. And she would go together with she had somebody that would help her, help her. Maybe the fellow that would help her was a Gentile, and he was like their faithful servant. He would go and help them. He would carry the things in, and he would bring, So that's what they did. She went around to the different places, and she would just, do the business transactions. And the Gentile that was with her, the servant, he would carry the thing. So one day she was there a little bit too long. She went into one of these houses where the barons were, and usually she would go in and, so the worker, the servant, he got a little bit worried. He was worried. So he went up to the door, and he figured maybe, that something was happening. So he looked in the window, and he saw that she was having relations with this baron. And so he didn't know what to say, So she came back with the order and everything like that. And she said, "I'm sorry, I delayed. The baron he took a long time to come. He was doing things." And this. So he saw that she was lying and that she had cheated on her husband. So they came back, and the man, the owner, this servant was like a very good friend of his also. They were very friendly. So he said to him, "How was work today? How did it go today?" Every day he would ask him. He said, "Okay." So the Jew said to his servant, "You seem to be worried about something. Is there something?" He said, "Listen, I don't know." So the servant didn't know what he should do. Should he say something about it? Should he not say something about it? And so he said, "Listen, what's wrong? You're hiding something from me." He said, "No, tell me what it is." He said, "Listen, I really don't want to, but I don't think you should send your wife anymore to this. I don't think this." He says, "Why? What happened?" I said, "Listen." He said, "What's something? What are you talking about? What are you talking?" So he said, "Listen, she took a long time coming out. I looked in the window, and that's what I saw." Okay, now in Jewish law, there's a lot of things that don't make any sense. One of the things that don't make any sense is that a testimony of a woman is not acceptable. If a woman sees a crime and she testifies, that doesn't make any sense. And also, if a non-Jew sees a crime, it can't be a witness. That's the law. A child can't be a witness. For certain things, yes, but anyway, in this case, not. So it would mean that she would be forbidden to him. So he confronted his wife, and she said, "I had, how could be such a thing? Heaven forfend. I should even think of that. How could you suspect me of such a thing? I never." When she was crying, "I never would do anything like that." He said, "If you suspect me, then I won't go anymore." And this. So he didn't know really what to do. On one hand, this servant was a trusted servant. He had absolutely no reason to lie. And if his wife really did do this thing, she did have a reason to lie. So he didn't know what to do. So there happened to be, this was in the city of Chernobyl. So there happened to be a big tzaddik in the city of Chernobyl, a big tzaddik. He was a very, very holy Jew. His whole life he would just sit and learn in this. And he had long eyebrows. And when someone would come in, he could judge just by looking at a person. He could judge, he lifted his eyebrows, he would look at the person, and he would say, you're guilty, you're innocent. And so so his wife, meanwhile, she was crying and weeping and begging for mercy. Please don't suspect me. I'm innocent. I never did anything. Please. So he brought her to this tzaddik. It's called Avram of Chernobyl. And Avram of Chernobyl, he brought his wife in, and he said, my wife is suspected of being infidelity, of being unfaithful to me, that she had relations with the baron or whatever it is. So this Avram lifted up his look and he said, innocent, innocent. She's pure. She's pure. She's pure, pure. Oh, so he was very happy. In any case, her husband was very happy with this, but still he had little doubts. He still had little doubts about the whole thing. And he went to a friend of his, and his friend said, listen, I think you should write the whole story to the Tzemach Tzedek. And Tzemach Tzedek was the accepted posek, the decider of major issues. They sent to the Tzemach Tzedek. He knew everything. He knew all of it. So they sent to the Tzemach Tzedek, and the Tzemach Tzedek said that she's guilty. He wrote back. He said, yeah, she's guilty. So now he didn't know what to do. So this Rabbi Avram said she was innocent. So he went to the Tzemach Tzedek and he asked, he said, I'll tell you why. He said, you have to tell this Rabbi Avraham, he's a very holy person, but he's too holy. He's too holy. This woman, he could look at a person and see on their forehead if they did any sins. And he looked at your wife and he saw that her forehead was clean. She didn't have any sins. He says, why? Because she genuinely repented. She genuinely repented for her sin. And she was really, truly, how do you say, broken to the essence of her soul that she did such a thing. And she just became a different person. And so it wiped off the sin. But according to the Torah, that doesn't work if you repent. She did the sin. The fact of the matter is that she's guilty. She did the sin. Now, what the man did with his wife afterwards and what, if he actually did divorce her, if he didn't, that's a different story. But the fact of the matter, the story is truth. What is the truth? So the truth, in heaven, she won't be punished. She's totally innocent. But legally, according to the legal law, then the Tzemach Tzedek saw what the fact was. The physical fact was that she did the sin. So in other words, the reality of the world is a reality. How God judges that reality, that's another reality. It's another reality, what we do with it. But reality cannot be denied. And that's what the Rebbe's saw, what true reality is, according to the Torah, and also the spiritual reality of the Torah. But one does not negate the other one. Have a good day with Mashiach now. I'm going to have to do the first class again. Hope to see you all tomorrow. Tomorrow, Friday, there will be a class. We'll finish this Devar Malchut. Shalom Uvracha. See you tomorrow with Mashiach now.